Hey, shalom,
Shalom, shalom.
shalom. We want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Wakim, that are teaching the truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, with the GMS Atlanta camp coming at you with the hope for edifying lessons through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and the brother Kabash, and the brother Tazabah. Yeah, so we just going to basically get into various topics and prophecies going into these latter times because, you know, the Lord spoke through his men, which are the prophets, concerning these latter times to only Israel. And it was centuries ago when the Lord proclaimed these prophecies through his prophets that he sent throughout the four corners of the earth. Mainly, you know, what's to come in these latter times. So we literally are living in these times that the prophets spoke about. That's right. We have certain prophets like prophecies, Revelation chapter 13, going to the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. That's here. Then you have
the prophecy of Daniel. Hey, I was watching when the brother was pulling up. You know, the statue. You know, the gold, the silver, the bronze, and the part iron, part marble clay. Right. And we're within that.
Yeah, we in that marble.
We're in that marble clay and that iron.
And the Lord is going to come back and smash that with that stone, the great millstone, going to grind over.
Right, man.
And first he's doing it through the process of his prophets, chatting down Babylon with his prophecy. Right. We literally living in these times, man. We're literally living in these times. You got Esau according to the scriptures. And the latter times, the scripture says that Esau will be ruling. Get that in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows it. Because what's going on out in this world? Number wickedness. I'm gonna get this again. There you go. All right, this is Job chapter 9, verse 24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Yeah, it's Esau. So if the wicked is ruling, what does that mean? Well, that means that according to prophecies, the Lord is speaking on Esau, which is the border of wickedness in Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. He's ruling now. That means what? We're at the end. And then the Lord said in Matthew 24, verse 14, when the gospel is preached throughout the four corners of the earth, then should the end come. That's right. So we at the end. And this is what the scriptures told us to be wholeheartedly in. It's declaring the prophecies to Jacob. Because the prophecies is living out itself.
I'll bring this out. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we're at the end. Like, this is a prophecy playing out before our eyes, because the Lord said Esau's the end of the world. What have people been saying? At no time in history have people ever chanted, we're at the end of the days, we're in the end of the days. Until Esau came onto the scene, man. But it was more important, it was to give understanding to that. The end days began when Yahweh Shai was birthed, man. But the Lord said, well, Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Why? Because the same way as the brother was alluding to, dealing with the statue, that great millstone that is going to bring about America's destruction, we're a part of that, man. We're a part of that great millstone. We're a part of that prophecy. The Lord is he's bringing Esau down by the way of Jacob, because Jacob held fast the heel of Esau. So through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, by us putting up these lessons, doing these spiritual epistles, these visual epistles, it's chanting down this place. Why else is Kyrie in bold? Even though these Kyrie, Kodak Black, Kendrick Lamar, Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, all of these dudes, they claim that they Israelite, but all of them take one step forward and then 10 steps back. Why? Because the Lord is showing you, hey, he's not dealing with them, but his prophecies and his understanding is going to come to pass, man. He said that what? Your teacher should not be pushed into a corner. Did he not? That's why Kyrie paid $500,000. He paid $500,000 and still got suspended. But yo, they don't drop money off to the apostles and the elders. Did the apostles and the elders take it? No, because we seek the kingdom. And to get the kingdom, we have to what? Bring it, uproot this guy out of power, man.
Yeah, Kyrie and all of them, like the Lord said, Yahushua said, it is hard for a man, a rich man, to enter into the kingdom of heaven than a camel going into the eye of a needle, which the eye of a needle goes back to, uh, in the cities of Israel, you had certain places where they'll load up the camel. Jake have a camel packed up with certain items, and then they'll go through a little straight way to try to pass over to the other side. And through that passage, it was called the eye of the needle. That's right. So, the Lord just put a parable to that to link up the point that he was trying to make concerning the rich man getting into the kingdom of heaven. And that's the same way with all these celebrities and stars that know that they are of Israel. Now, it's ultimately up to the Most High at the end of the day, whether a man is righteous or not. But, as far as us being in the spirit or whatnot, we know that, the Lord is going to have mercy on who we have mercy on, but it's not according to your riches. And according to your flesh, man will easily betray the Lord quicker because of his flesh and not the spirit. So all these celebrities that's not in the spirit, they really ain't gonna really inherit what we inherit, which is this doctrine, which is gonna shield us from the temptations of this world, because the Lord ain't playing, man. The Lord ain't delivering all Israel like he did in the time of Egypt. And shalom to you, Akim, that's on the coming board. Right? So how about that's like a thumb. Yeah, the Lord ain't gonna deliver all Israel like he did in ancient Egypt. The Lord is gonna deliver Israel as a few. Like he says in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 11. He's gonna chastise us in measure. And the ones that's receiving the chastise is counted as what? Sons, which are the chosen ones. Not all Israel. 2/3 of Israel, they're not going to get chastised. They're going to live it up in his word. It's going to be like nothing is wrong with it. That's why Jacob is fully set in their ways, because the Lord is not chastising them as sons or as children of the Lord. But for us, we coming out with this truth, and Jake still don't believe, but F J. We at the end, we still going to be prophesying, even if we, prophesying to the wind.
Right. I was talking to Jake earlier. Yeah, and we as this new flood of Jakes is coming in, man. We gotta hit oldie but goodies, simple truths, man. Yo, if Yahweh Shah don't exist, man, our people are elf, man.
Yeah, we effed up.
We screwed. I'll bring this out if you don't have anything. All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 16. I start at verse 17 because a prophet seen this vision, man. And in him seeing that vision, what was he on? He was like, yo, man, I know I'm doing your will. And I know how we should be saved by the scarcity of our teeth, by the skin of our teeth. All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. It says, woe is me. And we know that's destruction. So destruction is me. Destruction is me. Who will deliver me in those days? So this is a prophet, a man of the Lord asking, who's going to deliver me in those days? He's asking this question because he understands it. Nobody found on planet Earth could do it. Right. He's looking from a third person point of view.
We're getting judged by our works, sins.
So he understands the measure in which the Lord is weighing us in righteousness. You see? All right. In verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. And that's what we've seen. We've seen the beginning of sorrows and great famine. When did that start? Go back to the last what was it? The Olympics in Rio. Hey, just look at that. Right across from the Olympic Stadium, you had the ghetto and the hoods, man. It was folks getting put to death, getting raped, it was prostitution going on, it was vending going on, every forms and manner of wickedness was going on right there next to the Olympic in 2016. But you had the famine of Argentina and Venezuela. Were these places wasn't it in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil? So it was in what? It was in these areas. In these particular areas that they was holding these grand sport events. Look on the other side of the street, and it's mass poverty, it's mass famine going on.
Yeah, they had a riot about that too. About the Olympics being played in Rio.
Yeah, it's like bro, and people over here starving. Yeah, right. People starving on the other side of the street. This is what the prophecies are playing out, but the people are so dull and so desensitized, and hey, you really just lack the spirit, man. They can't see it. So I continue. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power should stand in there, stand in fear. All right, the beginning of evil. What shall I do when these evils shall come? It's nowhere that you can go on the planet Earth and you don't find these evils now.
Right.
You can hear it is
cameras everywhere.
Yeah, look at Brittany Griner. She went over there thinking she was gonna go get some quick summer money, but end up being a prisoner of war.
Right.
You see?
Right. Looking stupid in the news.
Looking stupid, bro. Looking super stupid. But these are all a part of the curses that the Lord said that will befall our people in these days. Now this is getting to the meat of it, if you don't mind. All right. Verse 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." And when you go into that word amendment, it goes into change, man. And to be scourged is the same way of those when you saw Yahweh Shai and the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah,
you know that.
But there's the invading them.
Yeah.
The 2/3 of Israel, they going through scourges just like we are, but ours are not made in vain. Like I said in 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 14. Theirs are in vain, and it's for what? The amendment of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lord still won't payback on people that's doing wicked out, especially 2/3 of Israel, which should know better. So the scourges that's really for amendment, one in particular that's hot in the news right now. Take off.
Yeah.
Got his brain taken off. And he took off to the spirit world.
But is that gonna keep Jake from shooting dice?
No.
Jake is still gonna shoot dice. Is Jake gonna go to the bowling alley? Jake is at a bowling alley tonight. But they're not always mindful of the scourge.
Yeah.
Why? Because a sentence against matter of fact, let me get it.
Right. And not only that, because I know what you about to hit to. Not only that, but the Lord made it that way because the Lord had fattened their hearts and closed their eyes that they cannot see. And ears have they, but hear not. And ears have they, meaning what? They are Israelites, but the Lord ain't gonna grab them to the truth. And that's what makes them a shaft or a stick in the fire, which is those nuclear missiles. Right. Jake that don't listen, they're gonna end up in trouble.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart or the mind of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And that's what it is. Now going back, the Lord said that because he's not passing judgment right then and there in the minds of the sight of the people would think, hey man, the Lord is with this. Now I read back. It says, "Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." So the Lord is sending these scourges for amendment, but do the people change? Are they mindful of it? It's like, nah, man, I got away with this time. I just messed up. This is the better way to go do it. So right. Jake is emboldened to continue in their wickedness, man. Why else do the trapper keep going out to the corner every other day, knowing it's a risk that he might get shot, but because he got Hey, he made $1,000 yesterday. Hey, maybe I can make it today. Hey, maybe I can make it today. Maybe I can make it tomorrow. So he continues in it, man. You see? But when he do get shot on that corner, when he do get put in the hospital, when his mother do get put to death, or one like the brother was going into, brother, we don't know the full story, but these niggas shouldn't have been in the damn bowling alley. Jake is still going to go back to that bowling alley. Jake is still going to shoot dice. Why? Because they're not always mindfully discouraged. Now understand that could easily be you. What Jake? We done been around a million dice games, and that's one of the scariest situations to be around is a dice game, because you know if anybody pick up some money, a fight finna start out, and guns finna be drawn, man. Age old story. Don't touch no money during a card game. But they're not mindful of the Lord's scourges, man. It's just a nigga moment to them. But really, it's the judgment of the Lord. You got it.
This is First John chapter 3, verse. Oh, I want to say. Okay, this is First John chapter 3, verse 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brother. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer, and we know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him. That's for Jake that's not telling Jake the truth. You know, you consider a murderer when you don't teach the one to say the truth to Jake. It says right here in verse 17, also like verse 16, hereby perceive we the love of Yahweh, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. And that's going back to the motion of us sacrificing our lives for this truth. And one of the ways that we show that we sacrifice our lives is by teaching the word of the Lord to the Lord's people. Like it says in Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 7, and I'm going to get into it because we don't want that blood on our hands. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou doest not speak to warn the wicked from his way. And that's another, not to segue out of the point, but that's another point that the Lord is casting off these curses off us by being a brother to our brother, by telling him the truth, by being our brother's keeper,
Right. And not being not bitching up, man, because money's being taken out of your pocket. Because that's the thing, man. That's the new thing that Esau's pushing them to our people. Yeah. Like, yo, if I take money out of your pocket, you justifiable in anything that you do to keep money in your pocket.
Yeah,
and stand on something, man.
Esau is making these celebrities that he paid to be the leaders of New Jake, which is far from the truth, because the Lord, what was the scripture? The truth is not by gaining money. Yeah, the Lord ain't reaching out to you, Jakes, for money's sake, or just because he has riches, the Lord just want to send them to you. Nah, man, the Lord is bringing true men to you so that your soul can be delivered, because the end game for this society and this whole life in general that's perpetually going on as time proceeds, as it seems. But in the times of the Lord time, the Lord's about to end it. This fashion of life is going to be ended, man, and you're going to be ended with it if you don't take hold of this truth. Because this truth is not by status or whatnot. It's all about the truth speaking out to Israel so they can be saved.
I got a good precept. This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. It says, obey them that have rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your soul, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. Now it says, for they watch for your souls. These same individuals that have led you to believing that you're an Israelite. I'm a Jew. Kanye, Kyrie. After I know that I'm an Israelite, what else to it, man? It says, for they watch for your soul. Obey them that have rule over you. And what we're beginning to see is the brother had just put it into the group, and I just gotta say it for edification's sake. Kyrie's coming up another way, man. Kanye's coming up another way, man. You have watched the apostles and the elders, man. What you saying?
Oh, it's like that's if they sincere.
That's if they come. But you watch the apostles and the elders. You've seen how it's done, how it should be done. If you've been following this for years, you've had one individual, one particular man that you cleave to and you liked in the spirit, and you followed him just for him to fall out. You know, he was pushed into a corner. Now here it is. You got Kyrie, you got Kanye, you got Kodak. Whatever Jake out there claiming that they're Israelite, they've been pushed into a corner. Esau by taking those FRNs, that fiat currency. You see that these dudes do not love their people. They don't believe in what they saying. They don't believe in what they're doing. But when you watch the apostles and the elders, they've been doing this since they was young men. And here we are. We're coming into that same labor, man. But yet Jacob come into this labor and expect somebody to kiss up to you and to listen to everything that you say, right? Like you the elder. No, man, you ain't got the experience, you ain't got the time, man. So I'll read back. Obey them that have rule over you and submit yourself, for they watch for your soul. Now I go back. I gotta bring this up.
Oh yeah, here it is. Saying that money is close to godliness or whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, this is our First Timothy chapter 6, verse 4. He is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about. Okay, verse 5. First Timothy chapter 6, verse 5. Perverse disputing of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself.
But what did you learn? What did you Negroes learn? You learned that prosperity doctrine in the church first. Whether you be Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, whatever the hell you want to call it, man.
Scientology.
Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. It says that gain is godliness. So that's what the scriptures tell you that when a rich man speaketh, they extol it unto the cloud. But when a poor man speaks, hey, shut the. Hey, why don't you see Donald Trump speaking?
Right.
Hell yeah, hey, Jake, hey, if you done been in the South, you know it, man. You done had that grandma smack you in your damn eye. Hey, boy, you be quiet and you listen. And that's how it goes, man. You be quiet. You a poor man. Obviously, he had something to say. He's rich. The Lord must be dealing with him. So let's see what he got to say and see if we can be enlightened. No one gives credence unto the poor man, unto the teacher, the man that goes out week in and week out.
That have experience in it.
Yeah,
they just doing it because it's cool and it's some truth to it, because these Jew small hatters, they do rule and they are effing people all over the world with their way of dealing with people. But at the same time, it's not concrete, because like Kanye West said, they literally want to, at the end of the deal, want to be mutual with them and have rights along with the small hatters. But there's no rights with the small hatters. We want them niggas in slavery, man.
That's right, man.
The niggas, we want them niggas to pay homage and tribute to us, man, and reverence us as stars and important people above them. Not having no say so on what they gonna do and policy changing and movers and shakers of the world. No, we want them niggas in captivity. But a lot of you so-called celebrity prophets, y'all niggas ain't nothing.
Yeah, because you don't watch for the people's souls. You ain't went through enough. Right. You ain't seen enough. You ain't seen enough bloodshed.
And the Lord ain't sent them.
You want me to tell you what it is? If you be a part of the body, you'll be a part of the work. You see certain casualties. Some brothers gonna actually make it back to the spirit world righteously. Others are literally gonna fall out, and you love that guy. You love that guy just to see him go back into the world, just to see him go back into utter bliss. You know, the Lord brings us and gives us that understanding. So when we go out and teach, there's an attachment, there's an understanding, it's an experience that goes with that, man. So when we go out there to teach people to come into this, man, we ain't trying to see you lose. We ain't trying to be pushed into a corner. Right. Like, we understand, like, yo, that dude bitched out. I get it, bro. It's a part of it. But I'm still in this thing. Hey, Lord willing, I don't get pushed into a corner. You seeing these dudes bring out the word of the Lord, bring out a fact of the Lord. Let's put it that way. A fact. And you're an Israelite.
It's more clearer.
Yeah, it's clearer now than ever.
A baby and a toddler can understand what we're saying. And they'll go right by to it like, okay, when you're thirsty, drink water. It's just like with this truth. You got the truth out in this dark world. Hey, here's the light. The light is the truth. Use it. But Jake, they want to, like you said, be starstruck because they got money and stuff like that because of the pressures of the woes that they're going through. And like, oh, finally, somebody that look like me. Okay, they have something that I don't really know about, but it's close to godliness. So I'm going to listen to them and cleave to it.
Yeah, and then he leads you into a ditch, man.
Yeah, he is going to.
Why? Because Kyrie is already bagging back.
He's going to tell you to compromise, and compromising is cutting your ways.
Hey, I got to bring this up. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20. And it says, though Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. Why is that? Why did the scripture say that? Because when you go into the days of antiquity, when a prophet went into a city, they would ask him, is this for peace? And if it wasn't for peace, if he wasn't coming in there just handling his business for peace, it was what? You must be given a judgment against this place. And giving a judgment against this place put his life in jeopardy, man. They didn't have no 911 cell phone to hit up, call, trying to get delivered. Who did you rely upon? You relied upon the spirit of Yahweh Shai. The same thing we calling upon now. The same thing that these dudes tell you that they believe it. Oh, I know something. Well, if you know it, you don't believe it because you ain't standing on it. Our people is just full of lip service. It says, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers. Hey, with all the money that's been thrown at our apostles and elders, man, with them getting locked up after the 9/11 situation, you know, they never stopped pushing. They kept pushing, man. Here it is. These dudes, they've said something. They went and ran because they heard, they read, and they went and ran, and the Lord didn't send them. But yet, yo, you got to deal with the consequences of that rock that you threw. We've counted the cost on this side, man.
Yeah, the Lord said, make suffer living sacrifice. Romans chapter 12, verse.
But it got to be in what? It got to be in the sincerity of bringing the hopeful elect. That's why I'll bring it back out.
That means that you're ambassador of the nation.
Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have rule over you. Who is that? The apostles and the elders. And submit yourselves. Submit yourselves in what way? To the law, statutes, and commandments, and the movement in the spirit of your local camp.
Yeah, the ministry.
The ministry, man. For they watch for your souls. How are they watching for your souls? When you, hey, you doing a little too much stuff. Stop. Spending a little too much money on this. Stop. Hey, you ain't eating enough of that. Stop. Hey, you doing too much. Stop. You see, they watch for your souls in every regard. Kanye ain't doing that. Kyrie ain't doing it. Only the apostles and the elders, the men have been set up by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. You had some kind.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. And that's what Jake do. Like you said, Jake just going straight right out there. Oh yeah, he said that. Yeah, he means some truth. But it's not really true, bro. Because they don't really go into the prophecies like this. See, the Lord told us that we were going to come across scoffers in these last days. When you blaspheme the scriptures, going into like, okay, you going into this part saying that this is what Israel is about, but then you do your own thing, you blaspheme, man. You're a scoffer really, because you don't really uh embrace the real truth that's coming from the men of the Lord that's speaking the real truth and breaking it down and so. In Israel, want to post up videos and little shorts and stuff about what this man said, what that man said. It's like, no, man, it's really not real. And Jake don't come from a sincere place because, like we said before, they ain't going through the experience of walking with the Lord. Yeah. So I don't trust it, man. Especially you come across a certain amount of money, to hell with a chip, because when they go with the cash, you gonna take the chip. The hour of temptation. Yeah, Jake can run their mouth and fly off right now, but prophecies is gonna speak for itself, man.
You got a quick preach.
You got it.
This is John 15:16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. So a lot of people are in the mind is like, I choose the Lord. Like you choose when you decide to be special. It's up to you. No, man. Kyrie, Kanye, whoever. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. And we understand that what? That the deceived and the deceiver is, right?
Right. Ain't no shame, ain't no contempt going to them. King David said in Psalms 123 that we go through shame and contempt. Lord, take this away from us.
God.
We're going through shame and contempt right now. We got to wake up every day, go to work. We got to pay his bill, pay it. We always not in an upstanding way in people's eyes as they see us fit, because we ain't got a fancy car, we ain't got a status on our name and whatnot. So we literally look in the eyes of the people as nothing, as nobody. But at the same time, we are the rulers of the world.
That's right.
We are the sons of the Most High.
It's beautiful that you said that, Carla Yabashir, because Jake is always in the spirit of wanting to be recognized and held in a high regard. But yet, anything worth bragging about is something worth struggling over. And anything worth struggling over is brag worthy, is it not?
Right, it is. Yeah. That's why you see the Most High in Yahweh the prophets. Their peace in braggadocious ways.
Yeah.
Not braggadocious ways. It's just a little testimony of the Lord's power.
That's right. I go back. John 15:16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. All right. With all the individuals that have cleaved unto Kyrie, unto Kanye, shall your fruit remain? What's gonna happen to his fruit if he's passing out $500,000, man? What's happening to his fruit when he said, yo, I'm sorry, man, but you guys are still hitting me? What is that gonna teach his followers to do, man? But continue, curl up like hey, you play how you practice, man. Whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. So I'm pretty sure Kanye or Kyrie didn't ask in the name of Yahweh Shimmy Shah for faith. He didn't ask for understanding. He didn't ask for humility. He didn't ask for strength. Because if had these individuals asked, they would be what? They would be in the spirit of Yahweh Shimmy Shah and standing 10 toes down on the very things that they say that they believe in, man. Show me one time where Yahweh Shah turned back, man. He didn't.
He didn't lose that frame. His frame wasn't shaking. He still stayed in that frame, like the scriptures depict him as a man of the Lord, just like us. We move, man, to the Lord tell us to move, and when the Lord tell us to move, that Jeremiah 16:16 is gonna come into place. We're gonna be hunters. That's the only time we're gonna move. We ain't moving now. The Lord told us to be still and be content. Right. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. It says that thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushua, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching others also. And not to hang on these celebrities any longer, but that is like the hot topic in the news right at this time. But at the same, them ain't strong men. The strong men are the ones out in the field. That's out doing the grunt work. That's out, you know, rebuking Satan in the mind. These celebrities, they ain't rebuking Satan. You hearing what they saying? And it says right here.
No, you got it. You can finish that slot.
Okay, now you good.
I was just gonna add back to your point of us harping on the celebrities because it's a spirit, man. There's a spirit that's on us because what? That's if you ain't watching us, who you watching? You watching somebody that Esau wants you to believe in, somebody they want you to imitate, emulate, admire,
carry on his spirit.
Yeah, carry on his spirit. So we gotta go at that because that's still a stumbling block.
Yeah, that's a stronghold.
Yeah, it's a stronghold of our people because they would the water. They would look as look to LeBron as if though the Lord has favored this individual and giving him particular physical gifts. That's the reason he's rich. The Lord must be with this guy.
It's fooling,
and it's throwing people off, man. No, it's the righteous man. It's the spiritual man. I ain't got to be able to live. I ain't got to be able to live erase. If I know these scriptures, shit, I'm a man in the Lord's eyes.
Right.
If I'm keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, man.
And another clear point to add to it, because like it says in Romans chapter 15, verse 4, the truth was written aforetime for our learning. Yahweh Shah was rich in Roman Empire time. And what? He sold off his riches. He gave his riches away. He was suitable and somewhat to carry on, but he gave all of that up to what? Follow the Lord, to be the head of the body of the church of the Most High.
He was made weak, man. He made himself lower than the other angels. You had something, because I can bring this out.
Come, I'm gonna finish.
No, you got it.
This is verse 3, and it says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach." Yeah, endure these prophecies, because these prophecies are all coming down the pipe. World War III is here, man.
Yeah.
Like the Lord said in Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. 2 wars has passed and the third war coming. That word war going to, like the brother said, destruction. In the time of the two first world wars, what did that entail? A lot of people were suffering, man, even those that didn't go to war. So how much more in these times? This time is going to be made by fire, like it says in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. The war or the battle, and this time is going to be made by fire.
All right. I'll go here. All right. This is Second Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. It says, and he said unto me, because we was going into the fact that, the Lord gonna take us through some shit. Lord gonna take us through something. Kyrie ain't going through something that Apostle Ty went through. It was like, you just doing on a grander scale.
Right.
Like, but this guy's a poor man, and they can really go touch him. And Kyrie get hit, people are gonna mourn him, and we're gonna have a side eye at him. But like, if a man of the Lord get put to death, people wave their hand and throw the dirt.
Wisdom Solomon chapter 3 said, though I, no man regardeth it, though it may seem like we perish away, our end is counted as nothing, but our hope is full of immortality.
Right. So this is 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So what's all this brawling, this tough guy bravado that we've been taught to have in this time? Esau's moving in that spirit. But the Lord said, my strength is made perfect in weakness. Through what? You going through those trials, tribulations in which you can't deliver yourself, man. And you see the Lord's strength is made perfect. Why? Because, hey, I'm going to spiritually give you the understanding. I'm going to give you the spiritual strength to deal with this particular infirmity, to deal with this situation. I'm gonna give you the inspiration of thought and mind to actually come forth with a solution to this particular problem. And you know it wasn't of you. You know it was of Yahweh Shemel Mashah. It says, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. And that's what's going on. Dude, the more hell we catch, Lord fucking me, boy. You know, excuse the vulgarity, man. Lord Dylan, man. Lord Dylan. Lord Dylan.
Because we gotta have good tidings and bad tidings.
But with
the
the
balance, and our forefathers over.
But with these celebrities of Jake, that's why the spirit had you say what you said. The harping on celebrities. Who's standing the fire? Have you been withstanding the fire? We have, man. But what about these individuals? So the Lord said, through the infirmities are we made perfect. It says, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. And most gladly will I rather glory in my infirmity. These dudes are sitting up here, they taking all this money away from me. They're doing this, they're doing that. Apostle, I ain't saying that.
You tell it to a brother don't big you.
Yeah.
You know what we gotta do. That's part of the contract.
Yeah, you're supposed to what? Count the cost. You know? It says, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmity, that the power, so the more hell that Esau puts on you, it says that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. That's the Lord in his own way setting the standard in your life himself. Just when that flood comes with Esau, and that's what we warning you about through prophecies, man. That when that great flood comes, what? In the same way the Lord is gonna sustain you, and that power of Hamashiach is rests upon you daily. It's gonna rest upon you. It's gonna rest upon the nation of the righteous, man, of the 1/3 of the elect in that day, man. But it's through what? Through you going through this bull now, man. Through you going through the hard way, and you seeing that the individuals that has been placed before you that you looked up to, like now Dwayne Johnson might be the next guy to come up and probably understand the here Israelite. Will he sustain or will he withstand the bombardment from the Ashkenazi people?
They're one.
They ain't.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's not about them. It's all about us putting that veil from off you Jake's eyes, man. Because that's what Esau is doing, man. He's putting you to sleep, especially with these celebrities. So I'm gonna read this, and this is really a prophetic saying of Yahweh Shai in the red letter of the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And I'm going to start at verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. So the word gospel goes into good news. This is good news, man. And look, we literally are in these times because the good news is preached throughout the four corners of the earth. We got all type of camps popping up all over the world. So now I'm gonna go into Numbers chapter 24, verse 15, concerning the last days prophecies, in which the Lord used a heathen named Balaam to tell the matter of Israel and the rest of the world in. Because Israel, like it says in 2 Ezra chapter 8, the few are meant to rule in the future world. But for this world that we're presently in is made for many. Because when the Lord sets us up on top again, no other nation is going to be sitting beside us, succeeding us in rulership after us. No, it's only going to be us, the house of Israel. It's 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. And this world is going to be made for few. And I'm about to go into a prophecy concerning what the Lord did to Balaam, which is not an Israelite, but just for edification point. But going into what Balaam said, what the Lord is going to do to these other nations, and how he's going to deal with Israel as his chosen people. This is Numbers chapter 24, verse 15. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes are open have said. He have said, which heard the words of Yahweh, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. And that's what we have. We have the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High, and our eyes are open. The eyes being our third eye, which is mind, our spiritual mind. Because with the spiritual mind, you can foresee the future. And clearly, it shows that the Lord has to give you that spirit in order for you to see these this true doctrine. Verse 17, I should see him, but not now. And he's talking about the Most High. I should behold him, but not nigh. And clearly, this talking about right here, verse 17, I should see him, but not now. Meaning what? In the latter times, Balaam is going to see the Most High come back and do what he prophesied, what he gave him to prophesy to Balak, that Moabite prince that was going against Israel, that wanted Israel to fail, which Moab today is the Chinese people. So right here, verse 17, I should see him, but not now. I should behold him, but not nigh. And behold him meaning what? He's going to see the Most High, but he's not going to be near him like Israel. Israel is the only one that's going to be near and dear to the Most High and his dear son. Not these other nations. They're going to be far away from the Lord, just like he made a division in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8, amongst all the nations outside of the chosen nation, starting with Adam and Eve. Now, going back to verse 17, there should come a star out of Jacob, which now people say stars are celebrities and whatnot, but we're literally the stars of the world. We're the famous ones because we're the sons of the Heavenly Father.
That's where you get the word celebrity from celestial.
Oh, beautiful, bro. We the true gods.
Yeah, God.
And it says right here, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. That's talking about King Yahushua. And should smite the corners of Moab. The corners of Moab is talking about the leaders of Moab. Because, you know, scriptures always goes to Yahushua being the chief cornerstone, which the Lord, Yahushua, is the chief cornerstone. He's the Lord of Lords, Kings of Kings. He says right here, and destroy all the children of Sheth, and Edom shall be a possession. Edom is going into slavery. So this is what these other people ain't prophesying and telling the people about. Kanye West ain't saying the small hatters is going to go into slavery. All he's saying that they are wrong. You know, we can't get a fair shot. Why we can't be on the same playing field? Nah, F that. We ain't nobody on the same throne. Everybody ain't on the same throne. There's only one person on the throne.
That's right.
It says right here, verse 18, Seir also should be a possession for his enemies, and Israel should do valiantly. Man, we're going to do victoriously in our kingdom, man. We ain't going to fail. There ain't going to be no, oh, I got diabetes. Oh, I got a toothache. Oh, my girl cheated on me. There ain't going to be none of that shit. Oh, man, my finances right. I've never been around the world. Oh, I don't know God. Who is God? It ain't going to be none of that in the kingdom of heaven. What's going to be going on in the kingdom of heaven is every Israelite doing righteous. Right? Verse 19, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Man, the Lord's coming back to destroy all our enemies that have us in captivity, especially Esau. Second Ezra chapter 13 goes into that. Our Lord coming back in cloud with all the clouds, all the chariots or the angels of the Lord is coming back with him, and he's going to save a peaceable multitude. He says right here, it says, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable. Amalek is talking about the small hatters, these so-called Jews, which they're not the true people of Israel. The Lord has a particular punishment for you, because he know you're running the world right now. Okay? Like the scripture says, he that made the eyes, does he see not? He that made the ears, does he hear not? So the Lord hears and see what you do, Esau. It says right here, it says, and said Amalek was the first of the nations. Yeah, he's the first in the world. Israel ain't first. We the first fire, last hire. We the last in everything. Hell, Jacob still complaining about reparations. Who got reparations for Israel? Oh, so-called Jews, the Holocaust. Then you had the so-called Chinese man in World War II.
Yeah,
Japan.
And really, they was just trying to justify to try to fit the prophecies, man, trying to act like they had actually went through something.
That was that
in a modern day time. Yeah. But yet, here it is. Nobody can see that we fit the prophecies in modern day time. And it wasn't scripted. This is all, hey, ours wasn't scripted.
Yeah, because the Lord said he's going to hide us. He's going to hide us in Lamentations chapter 4. You know, we're a nation hidden. And also the Most High is hidden. You know, for a time, but like the scripture says, people gonna say, surely thou art a power that hideth thyself. They're gonna say, God, you can hide yourself because man, it didn't seem like you exist. That's how the people move in these times. Well, even before time, that's how people move in the world. But they literally gonna know the presence, they're gonna feel and know the presence of the Lord and his dear son and his dear children. Because we was made for the Lord's sake, like it says in Isaiah 43. And how much more us being glorified with the Heavenly Father? He made us for his sake, for his glory. So we're special people, like it says in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Right? This is verse 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, and he took up this parable, and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. This is Esau's latter end. This is the small haters, which are Amalek, a particular tribe of Esau, which Amalek is the grandson of Esau. We're in the time that their end is now. It's rumors, it's facts on small haters, which are the so-called Jews, the Jewish people today. They run the world. They run the entertainment business that pay all these celebrities and athletes millions, gazillions of dollars, and they can just easily wipe it out their account and take away endorsement deals from them that keeps them in the mode of getting the money and riches. Nah, this is their latter end. This is why the Lord said in Lamentations chapter 4, rejoice, O daughter of Edom. Rejoice. Because your end is going to come. Your time of drinking the cup that we drunk, and you see, we drunk it because of the conditions that we in. The fury, wrath of the Most High. You're going to drink that cup, Esau.
I got to bring this up. This is Job 27 and 14. It says, I'm going to start at 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, and the heritage of oppressors. Who is known as the world's greatest oppressor? It's you Edomites, you Romans, you Caucasians, man. You're known as the world's greatest oppressor. Because every time we say, yo, you guys had a 400-year head start. Well, it's not my fault that you guys didn't know you guys wasn't savage enough. I heard that coming up in the South, man. Like they was like, literally, it ain't my fault that you wasn't as savage as me. That's a part of manliness, being savage. Hey, to a degree it is, but Esau was bloodthirsty. He was wicked about his, man.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. He had the perpetual hatred.
That ate the water, perpetual hatred.
And then if it was like that, then why you take over the whole world, nigga? Why particular people?
Yeah.
Why? Because,
why me?
Why?
Why me?
Right. Why? Because it's a spiritual thing.
That's right.
It's already was planned. It's prophecy, man.
That's right, man.
Before Esau and Jacob was born, the Lord already had a plan for us. Read about that in Romans chapter 9, around the 13th verse.
Yeah, man. It says, Job 27:13. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. So, hey, who cares if Esau's out here multiplying in the earth? Who cares that he's building up? Who cares if it seems as if though he's winning when we know he's not? Because that cup has already been passed on to Esau. Now, hey, it's been passed on to Esau. We've seen the effects. But to finish off, it says, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. It's nothing that you can give Esau on this side that he'll be satisfied with. What more impart in the kingdom of heaven? What could you give? What could you give Esau that could satisfy him if he couldn't be satisfied in his own? What more when you at the bottom? But those that remain him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. That's speaking of the kingdom. You see, those that remain in him shall be buried in death. So
Esau ain't gonna get no love, man. So y'all falling up to Jake. Y'all falling up to Esau. Like y'all falling up to Esau. Y'all finished. You got it.
Yeah, it says buried in death, and we know what that physical representation of death is. Just pure destruction, man. You're gonna be worse than what we are now, man. Yes. You're gonna look worse than Negro.
Double worse. And that double is not just two; it's quadruple number.
And it says, "And his widow shall not weep." Do you know how? Hey, yo, we going through it now.
Karens ain't gonna weep for that
I'm going to slave for Esau. I'm breaking my back. I'm risking penitentiary chances for this used box.
Yo,
you know,
just like how we get fucked up. Esau, when you come home from work, no woman is gonna tear you down. Just like how our women tear us down. Yeah, I'm like, you nigga, what you been doing all day? You nothing but a lazy nigga. Bitch, I've been working on.
But it's gonna be worse. And she gonna see Esau
with chains on.
Yeah, she gonna see him with the foot. She gonna witness us backhanding Esau and him being able to do nothing. You say that to that Israelite. You know, hey, that was used to be the old toast coming up when I was coming up. Or whatever. Like, shit, you don't talk to that white man like that.
Then you gonna have
get rough with me.
You gonna have chains on him too.
God.
Esau, you gonna be in that pumpy state in the kingdom. Yeah, even when the Lord be here.
Finish all it says, though he heap up silver as dust and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. You see, here all this wickedness that he's going throughout the earth, to accumulate his wealth, to accumulate his fame, to accumulate that notoriety, to accumulate that prestige. The Lord is literally telling, he's like, yo, you may put it on, but you may prepare it, but the righteous is gonna put it on.
And that preparedness is what he's doing now. World War III, moving and shaking the way the society moves, and you know where the job market is extremely doing well, but it's not. Crops is growing how they need to, import some goods. All of that stuff is fame, man. The Lord is going to have us put on the riches while you preparing, really going into his new world order. That's not going to work out, Esau. Because, like it says in Job chapter 20, verse 4, the trying for the wicked is but for a short moment. God. When we in that time, we're at the end of that moment. You got. This on I got there. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Read that back. You got to.
This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time.
Knowing what time? Sis, whatever time that you woke up within yourself, not to the spirit, but the Lord antagonized you and he was plucking your strings well before you got this truth. Before I got it, hey, we had a Trayvon Martin. What more for the apostles and the elders in them days and the individuals before? So read that. It says,
and that now, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
So the moment that you thought this place is fucked up, man. Hey, man, this ain't right. Hey, you should have been waking out of sleep. You should have been trying to find the end all be all to this bullshit, man. Hey, the end all be all to all of this bullshit. Because it's bullshit, but it's the word of the Lord. It's the word's work. This is the Lord's movement. So it's not bullshit. But I'm saying the dross that we got here endure, man. Yo, man, it's at an end. It's to an understanding. So let's read this back one more time to bring it all together, man.
Come. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Quavo died. I mean, Takeoff died. You know, dogs just got killed. They making bank runs over there in Italy. They did that 2 years ago. They got the artificial famine down there in Venezuela and Argentina. Here it is. You got inflation that is hit America and it's here, and they keep all the economists are telling you it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. This is the new norm. With all of these things going on, man, it says what?
And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
So whatever fucking triggers you, you need to be waking out of sleep, and you need to be asking for your how about Shimmy, I was shy, man.
Going back to that point, the high time is the priority.
Yeah.
Of
the water.
You going into the truth. You making this truth your priority. Because the world ain't got the truth as their priority. Jake, Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians that's in the world, they don't have the truth as a priority. Like I said, they are not their brother's keeper. These women, they are not their sister keeper, because the elderly woman is supposed to teach the younger women how to keep at home.
Yeah, and all they teach you to do is be boys.
Yeah, shake their ass on TV. But that's not the real truth. You're supposed to have this as a high priority besides your responsibility in this life.
It's comes before food, man. But is this what feeds you?
The Lord is gonna reward us for this, bro. He's gonna reward us for this, man. Read 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. We all should appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach Yahushua.
God.
And we literally before the judgment seat right now, but in the spirit. And when he comes back in the physical, we're gonna get rewarded with good pleasure and riches.
Right.
This is what Esau ain't telling you. This is why Esau wanna conclude his kingdom and just dumbing you down and doing away with you and going about with his war and different politics and trade deals, and just sum it all up with using his blessing, which he swore with our forefather Isaac gave him. But it's not going to happen like that. Esau is going down as we speak, like it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Esau knowing that he had but a short time, which he's the devil.
That's right.
Says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. It's nearer. It's nearer, man. Than when we believe. And the prophets wrote that it was nearer than when we believed. So the prophets knew that the end was coming, but it was nearer than what they believed. How much more us now?
Yeah. Oh man.
It's like it's right in your face, like
yeah, I can smell his bruh. I smell his bruh, man.
God, man. The Most High feel. The Most High feel. Yahushua, the righteous. The stage is set. All we need to do is just play our parts and be obedient to the Heavenly Father and His dear Son. Continue with our ministry and ultimately, man, get saved. Get that crown of salvation, man, because that's what's going to meet us at the end. Even if we get put to death, even if we be in dire straits, but we still survive until the Lord comes back in the chariot and take us up and change in the twinkling of an eye, like it says in 1 Corinthians 15. That doesn't change the point that always be on point.
That's right. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, man.
Yeah, and it's nearer than what we believe. So we really should be happy, not to use this metaphor, but you know how you used to be when you was little Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
The night before you get all jittery and stuff.
Yep.
But that's how we should kind of be in that sense, like, or like a paycheck. Friday, big money, this big reward. That's how we should be, man. And more so, if you have any other ideas that meet with the scriptures on us receiving the kingdom of heaven in that fashion, then they go that way, because that's how it's going to be, and it's here.
Yeah. Hey, those are the expectations hoped for, man. The kingdom of heaven.
And that's what the Lord said that the elect was going to do in prophecies. 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 5. That's a prophecy. Because the elect is turning away from their adventures, which are their own minds, which is sin. Jeremiah 17, verse 9, the heart is wicked above all things. So we took away that old man, and now we're into the new man.
Yeah.
And then what? The Lord is going to bring us up, and now we're going to be his dear sons, which we are right now. It's just a process of things acting out. because the last prophecy is the hour of temptation, which is the mark of the beast. And that's the thing that we gotta fight against, because we're gonna lose our home if the Lord have it at a certain time, which He is. We may have to play through all that, you know. But it's gonna happen. Everything's gonna happen simultaneously at that time. We know it at the end. The Lord ain't about to have us out for years and months without food and drink and stuff like that. And, you know, we guarded by Esau army. Nah, the Lord's gonna deliver us, man. So that's all I had.
Hey, that's all we got through the Spirit, man. Hey, and we're in the time that, hey, leaning onto your own understanding is gonna lead you to a grave. And if you having your own understanding, hey, think to this. If we don't, as we started this lesson, if Jake ain't got, if the Lord ain't real, you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native Americans are fucked, man.
Yeah, but just to be 50 still.
It's like, hey, this is the time, man. It ain't nothing else to be said. I can't say nothing. We can't say anything that the scriptures couldn't say better, man. So with that, hey, call Allah Yahweh Shini Abashah. Hey, call Allah Yahweh Shini Abashah, Barakatah Yahweh Shini Abashah, Ba'ashah Kakudash. Double honors to our apostles and the elders, that great millstone, that teaching, that rule well. To the next time, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the brothers and the Akim throughout, and a few women and children. To the next time, Shalom. Yeah, I got it.